Hey everybody, welcome back to the channel. I have probably 4 or 5 lenses that I use for my portrait work. But I was thinking about it and I realized that there's one lens I use for maybe 70% of my work, and it's definitely not my favorite lens. In fact, I don't think it's anybody's favorite lens judging by online forums and reviews. So what is this lens and why do I use it for 70% of my work? So I'm going to describe the type of sessions I do probably about 70% of the time, and I want to see if you can figure out what lens I'm talking about before I give it away. Okay, here goes. First, most of these sessions, almost all of these sessions, the subject is usually within 20 feet of the lens. So from a focal length perspective, this means that I really don't have much use for focal lengths above 100 millimeters, and I certainly almost never shoot ultra wide portraits because it's really not flattering to the face. I've talked about this in a few other videos. Ultra wide portraits are not that flattering. Okay, the next thing about these sessions, the next characteristic about these sessions is that I almost always within the same session shoot a full length and a head and shoulders close-up, especially if it's a single subject portrait. And when I shoot the close-ups, I do not want to crop in from a full length for many reasons. One, you lose a lot of pixels, and as you know from previous videos, I tend to print large portraits, so giving away that many pixels is not cool. So I want the lens to be able to do full length and close-up. Also, almost every one of this type of session will be shot with flash. Whether it's indoor or outdoor, I'm going to control the lighting, I'm going to be using flash, so I almost never shoot with a faster stop than f5.6. Once again, this goes back to printing large portraits. If you shoot very shallow stops and print very large portraits, it has a disorienting effect when you look at it on the wall. So 5.6 is about as fast as I need for this lens. Any guesses? Like I said, this lens is definitely not my favorite, and I don't know that it's anyone's favorite. So what lens is it? It's Canon's 24-105L lens. I can hear it now. Yeah, what? What about? Yes, it is not the sexiest lens. It's the compromise lens for everybody, right? So let's break it down. So as I said, I have to shoot close-ups and full length for these sessions. So 24-105. The 24 is not so wide that it's distorting, and the 105 is usually within 20 feet, close enough to get a nice close-up. Also, it's f4, which I'm using flash for these sessions, and I don't want to do a faster stop, as I already mentioned, so f4 is fine. What about the 24-70 2.8? That is a gorgeous lens. In terms of just loving it as a photographer, yeah, it's that extra 35 millimeter, right? And I often need that reach. And sometimes I can't get closer than 20 feet to the subject. Sometimes it's a little bit further and I need those extra millimeters. You know, and I don't need the 2.8. So it's a way more expensive lens that I couldn't use quite as much. It's business for me. Okay, so the next thing. This is the EF lens. This guy's kind of old. Why don't I upgrade? It's hard to get excited about spending money on a lens that's just a replacement for an existing lens that already isn't your favorite lens. I'm sure you can relate to that, right? If you're gonna spend good money on a lens, you want it to be new and sexy and exciting. This ain't that. It's a meat and potatoes lens. But here's the thing. It puts meat and potatoes on the table. It does the job for the 70% of those sessions that are probably the biggest paying sessions I do. It's business for me, and I hope that this makes sense for you in terms of it's not always the sexiest piece of gear that you need to get the job done. It's the one that fills the requirements. I've done quite a few other videos on lenses, and you can hear my thoughts on them at this link here. Hey, thanks for watching this video. I hope it sparked some interest in you. You might have some questions. I'd love to hear your comments. Until the next video, cheers.